Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Next week on Coronation Street, the spotlight will be on Gemma Winter as she ties the knot with her longtime boyfriend, Chesney Brown. The wedding day of Gemma's dreams may be overshadowed by hidden truths, despite her best efforts to avoid them. Chesney hasn't been honest with Gemma about how much money Linda Hancock has contributed to the wedding. Paul Foreman, Gemma's twin brother, is likewise staying quiet about his diagnosis of motor neuron disease, MND, which is heartbreaking in and of itself. The actress playing Gemma, Dolly-Rose Campbell, was recently interviewed by Digital Spy and other media outlets. No. Actually being here is a big surprise to me. When I first started, it was only for 6 episodes because of a plot to write out Kylie Platt while Paula Lane was away having a baby. To still be here all these years later from what was essentially a 6-episode little tale is fantastic. It's a miracle that I'm still here and that I get to work on such interesting projects. The weddings are a major part of the plot in many episodes of Coronation Street. Both the weddings of Roy and Haley and Dev and Sunita are ones I vividly recall. We had a great time at theirs. It's a huge privilege to be the bride in a Corey wedding. Gemma and Chesney are a great match because he is the mellow counterpoint to her manic energy. He grounds her in reality, and he loves and accepts her without condition. Chesney makes no effort to alter her character. They make a fantastic parenting combination, and he puts up with all of her relatives. They're closest friends at heart, and their friendship shows in how well they work together. Don't think it has anything to do with wanting to prove anything in particular. Rather, it's something she's wanted to do for as long as she can remember. Gemma had always dreamed of being the center of attention on her wedding day. Gemma longed for a day when she could relax and focus on her own interests rather than those of a mother, a breadwinner, or an employee. Believe Gemma is appreciative of the fact that she has supportive people in her life. If she can't take a little help, she won't have the perfect wedding day. It's a great source of humility, even if Gemma and Chesney ultimately want to be able to support themselves. Given her circumstances, she simply cannot. Whether Bernie shares Gemma's appreciation for Linda and Paul's help is an open question. Seeing Bernie's reaction has been one of the best parts of the past 2 weeks. Paul becomes cold and brusque in the days leading up to the wedding, and Gemma doesn't know how to console him or figure out why he isn't sharing her enthusiasm. Paul eventually loses it, telling Gemma that nobody gives a damn about the wedding because he's sick of both her and the wedding. Because it was something she had anticipated for so long, he has caused her great emotional distress. Quite displeased with him, she tells him to not bother coming. Paul is adamant that everything be done his way. He doesn't want his family to take the burden since he doesn't want them to think less of him. He's keeping it a secret quite well. Moreover, Gemma's life is quite demanding due to her many responsibilities at home, at work, and in her personal life. She doesn't pay attention, and it's not just because of the wedding. Her schedule is always jam-packed, so she often misses obvious opportunities. Gemma is going to have a major emotional breakdown. Gemma and Paul are not simply siblings. They are identical twins who were born together and have spent their whole lives together. Keeping one's composure would be Gemma's strategy, in my opinion. Despite their eccentricities, they are a loving and supportive clan who always looks out for one another. That clothing is just stunning. It's an incredible piece of art. The amount of work that went into it is incredible. For Gemma's dress, I had grandiose visions in my head. The costume department continued asking, "Where are we going to get something like that?" As I was explaining the situation to them. A few years ago, I went to this designer's studio and saw all of their costumes, which is how I learned about the name Licorice Black. I told Corey I knew someone who could make the dress, but that I wasn't sure if they would because they were so busy. A Manchester drag queen with the name of Licorice Black. I knew the ideal person to make the dress was a mutual acquaintance of ours because they had worked on RuPaul's Drag Race UK. When they said yes, I was ecstatic. I was inspired by weddings I attended as a kid. These are the kinds of weddings that a young Gemma would have attended. As a child of the 90s, I was inspired by all the flouncy dresses to seek out my own opportunities to use embellishments like fairy lights. That's rather Gemma, and it's just a tad out of the ordinary. Alex, our in-house costume designer, is responsible for the vibrant hue. She insisted on orange because it's the most Chesney-esque shade, and we couldn't help but laugh. A 2-meter wide dress required a 7-meter long veil. The director wanted to perform a 2-shot with 2 actors, but there wasn't enough room in the dress, which measured 2 meters across. For more intimate shots, Licorice fashioned a more compact version, like a miniskirt garment. Although some of the staff had seen it, none of the actors had. Ryan Russell, who plays Michael Bailey, was having a costume fitting at the same time, so he may have been the only one to have seen it in all its orange glory, but no one else had. So that no one would be able to see it, I waited to put it on until we were inside the church. I was taken aback by Barbara Knox's adoration for it. I was worried that she would think it looked ridiculous on Gemma, but she loved it. The dress is being donated to a real-life Corey museum. Progressed halfway through level 2 thus far. It's getting challenging, but I'm enjoying the challenge. It seemed only fair that I, Sam Aston, Chesney, and Jane Hazelgrove, Bernie, should learn BSL in preparation for working with a deaf actor on set. The actor playing a lead, whose name is Joseph, has deaf parents, and it's great to be able to communicate with them and make them feel welcome. Deaf people have it rough at times since they don't always have access to the resources they require. Therefore, it helps when as many people as possible are able to sign. Right. I found out that's the best way to learn as I went along in real life. I was able to learn the role of Dolly in real life, and by doing so incorporate details that were not originally written into the script. I've been known to have a completely unrelated conversation in sign language with Joseph, who plays a lead. When we're filming a sequence involving Gemma and Bernie, such things have begun occurring, and I would have been completely unaware of them had I not signed. My first dream was entirely in sign language. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe our channel Street Gossip for more update news.